to Breaking Limitations Show with our host, Joyce Marendes. We are here to empower, equip, and promote. Let us discover your superpower.
Hi, welcome to the Breaking Limitations Show. My name is Joyce Marendes and I am your host here on today. As you all know, our mission is always to empower, to equip, and to promote individuals who've been able to overcome great obstacles in their lives and have now discovered their superpower. Today, I'm excited to have one of our special guests here on today, all the way from Houston, Texas. Her name is Jennifer Sebasibari. Jennifer is a professional chef based in Houston, Texas. She was born in Bujumbura, Burundi, and at the age of 12, she moved to the United States of America. Her first culinary experience was at the age of 10 in Langi, Cameroon, in a refugee camp where she prepared a family meal for her parents and 5 siblings. Jenny is the owner of Jenny on the Go 365, which is a culinary service where she provides catering services, private chef, food media, and more. So Jenny, welcome to the Breaking Limitations Show. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here. I've heard such great things about breaking limitation, and today I'm here.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here because I know that you are doing an amazing work, and I'm excited that our audience will be able to share and just hear some of those things that you are doing. So you are very young and you are a chef, and that's just amazing. So how did it all start? Because when we talk about a refugee camp, and so could you just tell us how did that start?
Yeah, so my mom been cooking since I can remember, and she's self-taught, so she cooked all the time for all of my family. There's 6 of us, and when we had to go to the refugee camp, my mother and I started cooking together. So one thing that we did is she started her business where she would sell chapati to most of the campers.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, I would sell the chapati for her and she would cook it. But little short after that, from just me watching her cook every day,
Mm-hmm.
I started cooking as well. So at first, she didn't trust me, but I had to make this really good tomato sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And for actually my neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
because my mom thought that like I couldn't cook.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it tasted like gourmet, then she was like, you can cook.
Wow.
And it was so good. I remember exactly how great it was. And I feel like that was still one of the best dish that I've made.
Oh, wow. That is so amazing to even think that you could be at a refugee camp and
Right.
you're still thinking of learning and just creating new things.
Right.
So could you just share with our audience, because I know most people haven't had your story, because your
Mm-hmm.
story is mind-blowing. And so if you could just share with our audience a little bit about your background and your story. How did you even end up being in a refugee camp in Cameroon? Because I
Right.
know you were born in Burundi.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my father worked as an agricultural researcher in Burundi.
Mm-hmm.
So when the war started, the genocide of Rwanda, we had to move back to Goma, and then Goma became really, really dangerous.
Mm.
So a little bit after that, it was just like a lot of turmoils that we had to go through as a family,
Mm-hmm.
and also just as a nation. So my family and I, we decided to relocate to Kinshasa. So a little bit after that, the United Nations and other nonprofit organizations granted 1,500 visa to Congolese victim to come to the United States. And, you know, my family and I, we were going through so much at that time, from kidnapping to getting bullied to not going to school to just like really, really struggling in Congo. And my family decided, my parents actually decided that they want to take the leap of faith and they want a better life for their kids. So thank God to them. We went to the refugee camp first in Kinshasa, and then a little bit after that, we actually 3 weeks after, we went to Cameroon and we lived there for a year and a half, and then we came to the United States.
Wow. Wow. That's so powerful to even hear that, because I know sometimes when people don't know about the world news, they don't know
Right.
what's going on around
Right.
the world, and sometimes people just assume that life is okay everywhere. And so if you could just tell people a little bit, I know you had mentioned it even during one of your events, just the whole process of you walking needed to go to the hospital, and how
Yeah.
you had to you were like, there were all these dead bodies, and because I think sometimes people think that this is just fake news.
Oh no.
And so when they meet someone who's actually lived it and was there, they
Right.
can help people understand that these things are still were going on.
Absolutely. So, you know, when we moved to Goma, you know, a lot of the refugees from Rwanda was just fleeing into Goma because they were also, you know, running away from the war.
Yes.
One of the things that I remember, there's actually two things that I remember vividly. The first thing is I remember it was like 8 of us, my mom, my dad, all 6 of my siblings, my uncle, and my grandma, our housekeeper. We had to literally run. So one of the things is literally it was like gunshot in the air and we didn't know where to go because people were just like, you have to go, you have to go, you have to go.
Wow.
And we were running, and there was just 2 people running, and we had like little backpacks, and then all of us, when all of the gunshot just got so bad, it was like ba 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 ba, and everybody just like kind of like dispersed. Thankfully we all stayed together, and we had to stay in this family's home. It was, I think, like 9 of us. We had to stay in the basement for like 8 days.
Oh my God.
And you know, I always tell myself, if I meet that family, I would love to just thank them. Because, you know, when you're going through things like that, you don't even know if you're going to make it. Because, you know, we've heard a lot of story, which is their true story, that a lot of people, their family died while they were
Yes.
running. And I know quite a few people, you know, my family, we know quite a few people that actually happened. You know, they don't know what happened to their dad, or they don't know what happened to the sister, or the whole family passed away. And, you know, that is one of the things that I'm always thankful for. And then another thing is, you know, when the war started to be really, really big in Goma, I remember I was a little sick, so my parents was like, okay, we have to take her to the hospital. And mind you, most of the refugee was just coming in. So as they were coming in, a lot of them, you know, didn't make it. A lot of them were alive, and they were just hanging out on the street. So going to the hospital, there was not streets available to drive. So we had to walk to the hospital. And I remember stepping on, you know, cadavers, and some of them were alive, some of them were not alive. And it was just really a very traumatic experience to go through as a little girl, because that's not the lifestyle that I came from. You know, I came from a great lifestyle, so it was like, what is going on? You know, and to process that as a kid is also really, really traumatic, because, and it's challenging as well, because you really don't know what to process at that time. You don't even know what's going on. You're just like going through the motion. But I'm so thankful that I'm here now and I can help other refugees make a difference into their life by, raising money for refugees organization, giving my time to do nonprofit work so that I can also help somebody else as well.
Wow, that is so, so, so powerful because a lot of times, and I've had so many traumatic stories of people who from Rwanda who've gone through all those different, so many different experiences that you
Right.
never ever want to go through,
Right.
or even go through even as a child, or seeing your child go through all that. But I'm so glad that you are able to make it, and you are able to eventually get those visas that allowed you to to go
Right.
to Cameroon, where you stayed in the refugee camp for a year and a half. And could you just tell us a little bit about staying in the refugee camp? Because I know that that was also different, because you were used to staying at home in a house and everything, and then all of a
Yes.
sudden,
Eating good,
uh-huh.
going to school, having clothes, going on vacation. So, God has a funny way to really wake you up or, you know,
Mhm.
help you become a better person per se. Or for me, I feel like that was another way that God wanted to really shape who I was.
Mhm.
And that's why I went through that experience.
Mm.
I'm so thankful for it every day. I would never ever take it for granted, or I
Yes.
would never have it different.
Mhm.
But going to the refugee camp actually to Cameroon was really breathtaking because I was just excited that I was not getting bullied at school. My dad was not getting kidnapped. We were
Mhm.
safe, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
And then also school was not really fun because I didn't have any friends.
Mhm.
So it was a very, very humbling experience. We stayed in tents. And as you know, Longyi is in a tornado zone.
Mm.
So one of the funny things that will happen, I always say this, that sometimes like the tornado will happen and our tent would literally collapse and we have to put it back together. And that would happen super often.
Mm.
But those experiences have shaped the woman that I am today.
Mm.
So I am so grateful
Mhm.
for all of those experience and all of those turmoil because I
Mhm.
feel like now I can conquer
Mhm.
a lot of things too.
Yeah, yes, and that is wow. Even you talking about a tent, just because
Collapsing, it's like the tornado would be like zoo, 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 and then you
and
see like tents on the floor.
oh
And
my
then
gosh.
people would be like, so how many tents were down? And it'll be rows like, oh, tent 780, seven this, seven that. Oh, okay, gotta put it back together.
And even the reality of it, that you had to recognize so you all stayed in one tent, your whole family, or did
So
Mhm.
my family and I, we had two tents.
Mhm.
But then my mom,
Mhm.
like our neighbor, one of my sister lived with her because it
Okay.
was only her and her daughter.
Okay.
And then I think my mom's best friend had two tents also. And then the girl, like my sisters, I think my sister stays with her too. I
Mm.
don't really remember. I think they gave you like two tents if it was like family per like two tents if it was like five on up or something like that. I don't really
Mhm.
remember, but I
Okay.
remember we had two tents.
Okay. Mhm.
So the main tent was like the tent that I lived in,
Mm.
which it was like where my parents slept,
Mhm.
and then sometime I went to sleep at our neighbor as well.
Okay.
So you had to make it work.
Yes, wow. And that just shapes who you are, because you are
Right.
really a go-getter. You are breaking limitations, and you are a poster child for breaking limitations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because you didn't take those circumstances and made them make you feel like you're not worthy of success.
Right.
Sometimes those things can shape you and you can get stuck in that place. But you've taken that, you took those experiences and used them to shape who you are. So when you came to the United States, how
Right.
was life
Oh my God, life was so different. So, when we were in the refugee camp, we used to take these English classes. I don't even know why they teach the English classes. And they used to give us these little books. So the books was actually cute because I looked forward to come to the United States because they would have pictures of like apartment, going to school with the school bus, having ice cream. I was like, yes, it's about time
You're
that we
like,
do that.
this is the life, huh?
Right, right. And now that I look back, I'm like, what? They put us there? Why? But anyway, so when I moved here, I was so thankful, and life was a little bit difficult when I went to school, but overall, it was just a breath of fresh air. I was so excited to be in America because I never thought I was actually going to be in America. And then to actually be there and to go to school, learning the language, I feel like was a little bit challenging. So when I started school, I had to go to ESL class. I'm sure some of you guys know. So most ESL class, especially in Texas, is mostly like Spanish driven. So I started learning Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I would learn, and then I would go home and watch like novellas and stuff like that. And my mom was like, I got to get you out of these classes because you're not even learning English. So I got out of those classes, started going to regular school. Regular classes. That was really challenging because kids were just mean. Kids were so mean. They used to call me like African booty scratcher.
Oh my gosh.
You're ugly. You look like you just came from Africa. Because, I didn't know English either. So they would talk to me and like throw me paper. So like in middle school, it was not fun at all. And I got into quite a few fights. But you know what? In high school, I had so much fun. High school was fun because we moved into a suburb. So that was super fun. I enjoyed it. So America has been so great to me.
Oh, wow. Wow. So I know Burundi, you speak French.
And Swahili.
Swahili and French. Okay. So you were fluent in French, but not in English.
No, not at all. I didn't even know. All I knew is hi, how are you, fine, and thank you.
Oh, wow.
That's all that I knew.
Oh, wow.
And we used to go, like in the refugee camp, we used to go to these English classes. Like those English classes were just terrible. But shout out to the United Nations for trying. We don't want to bash them because they're actually doing good work.
Yes. Oh, wow. But that is just hearing that story and just seeing all the things that you've been able to accomplish. That is really, really awesome. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break.
Awesome.
And then we're going to be right back. So guys, just stay where you are and we'll take a quick break and then we're going to be right back.
Represent your commitment to breaking limitations by visiting breakinglimitationsnow.com to purchase your Breaking Limitations t-shirt, tank top, or hoodie today.
Hi, welcome to the Breaking Limitations show. If you are just joining us, I'm here with our special guest, Jennifer Sebasibari.
Oh, you said it right this time.
Yes, I said it right. I thought I said it right before. Did I say it?
You did, but you kind of like...
I made it Americanish.
Oh, it's Sebasibari.
Sebasibari. So I'm here with our special guest, Jennifer Sebasibari, and she is just sharing with us her life story and her experience of how she came to the United States. And so make sure you watch it from the beginning so you can hear her whole experience. So right now she's going to tell us a little bit more about how her journey was when she got to the United States and some of the things she was able to do until she became this amazing person that she is today.
You know what? It's so funny because I feel like my story still being written. And I just wonder, I'm like, God, what is gonna be on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one side was this, the other side is gonna be this, but that's the beauty of it.
Yes.
So when I moved to the United States, I was just excited, and I used to work like I was like 13 years old. I was a housekeeper, cleaning building.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I've been a hustler. You know, my parents are amazing. You know, they have ingrained us really great values. And I'm so thankful for them. Been married for 45 years.
Wow.
Crazy, right? I know.
Crazy good.
Crazy good. Sometimes I
Yes.
say that and I'm like, wait, 45? Wow. But you know, when I moved here, it was great. I went to high school in Leander High School. When I went to high school, I was partying too much, and then not really doing too much work. So school was just not it for me. So after high school, I decided, I was like, man, I need to have fun. So I really started having fun. I moved to Houston a little bit short after that. So I started doing more video modeling. So that's how the influencer started. So that went pretty well. And then I turned 25. I decided that, you know, after having an epic birthday party, like a whole week birthday party.
Wow.
Yeah, which it was just too crazy. And I decided, I was like, this is not fulfilling, you know, it's just not fulfilling me. You know, at this point, mind you, I'm partying, I'm going out, I've gone to Super Bowl, All-Star Weekend. I mean, anything, any party that you can think of, BET Awards, like any party that you can think of, I've done. So, you know, 25, I was like, what can I do? I can't live this life. So I knew that cooking was something that I've always loved to do. When my girlfriends would come to visit me, I always cook for them.
Wow.
And then after that birthday party, I just sat in my house. I think it was like 3 days after, and I just Google chefs. And then I came to Giada de la Trentes. And I was like, I read about her, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be the Black Giada.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm just going to go to culinary school. She went to culinary school at 25, just like me. And I really didn't know a lot about culinary school or what is really being a chef. But I feel like that's also a blessing, because if I've Googled the struggle of being a chef, I would have never done it. So I went, enrolled in culinary school. My mom was like, oh no, she's not going to school. Ginny, no. And then I moved to Austin, was living in my parents' home. Oh man. At 25, living at your parents' home, my grandma was here. She was visiting my family, and then my nieces and nephew were living with my parents as well. So that was a whole shift for me, because I came from living by myself and having this and you know, to live into my parents' house and going to culinary school. But that was one of the best experiences of my life, because I felt like culinary school taught me such an amazing skill that I have now, that has got me to so many places. And then after that, I got a really, really good internship, which it was one of the best internships, to go work at Walt Disney.
Wow.
Yeah. So Disney was amazing. And then after that, I came back to Houston, and here we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. So can you tell us a little bit about your Jenny on the Go?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jenny on the Go 365 is my baby. It's my culinary service company. We provide catering services, pop-up restaurant, cooking classes, any service that you need in culinary, plus food media as well. So I started Jenny on the Go actually before I even went to culinary school, and that was the reason why I wanted to go to culinary
Oh,
school.
wow.
So when Vine, do y'all remember when Vine, those Vine videos was really popping?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I used to cook on Vine all the
Oh,
time.
wow.
And then I wanted my food to look like an art. And I was like, man, I just couldn't figure out the ingredient. Because, African food is not like
Yeah.
pretty.
It just tastes good, but
It
it's
tastes
not
good, but it's
pretty.
not pretty.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, man, how can I make food look pretty? So like that's where the interest started. So I was like 24 then, and then I went to culinary school at 25. So I just incorporated it in 2017.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm so thankful for Jenny on the Go because it's becoming a big brand. I'm hoping to grow a super, super, super big. I'm hoping to take it to Africa,
Yes.
to have a restaurant, and to perhaps win a Michelin star.
Could you tell viewers a little bit about the Emerge Gala or Gala? Because I keep
Gala.
saying Gala. I say Gala. Some people say Gala. I'm like, okay.
So Emerge Gala is an annual gala that I will be doing every year. My foundation, Sebas Foundation, where we will be honoring refugees. We will be honoring nonprofit organization. Also raise money for these amazing nonprofit and to raise awareness for refugees in Houston, and also to educate a lot of people about refugees communities in Houston, Texas.
Oh, wow. And I saw that you were also recognized by the mayor's office, right?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my God. I was so stoked. You know what? It's like, when you do philanthropy work, you don't really, it takes so much out of you.
Yes.
And when the city of Houston gave me that proclamation, I was so touched and I was so honored. And I will definitely continue to honor that proclamation and continue to bring light into refugee community and to make a difference. If I can make a difference and create more Jenny story, I would love to.
Yes, because you are doing a good job and I'm so proud of you. I was so happy when I saw you being given that award, and just the whole event was just so awesome. So I'm really glad I was able to attend.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
You looked beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad you liked it.
Yes, I loved it. And of course, next year, I hope more people will be able to attend.
Absolutely. Because you know what? Next year is not going to be Father's Day. So
Oh, yeah, because it was Father's
it was
Day.
Father's Day and it was on World Refugee Day. So, it was such a meaningful day for us.
Yes.
So next year is going to be on a Monday. So you guys make sure you
Yes.
save the date. It's Monday, June 20th, 2022.
Okay. Yes.
Emerge Day. We're going to be doing so many great stuff, and we're still accepting donation. So if you want to donate, you can go to emergeevents.org or link in my bio.
Okay. Okay, so that is really awesome. So I just wanted you to also give people your social media platforms. If people want to reach out to you, people want to follow you, go ahead and just give them your social media platforms.
Yeah, so I am the social media queen.
You need to train me on
I
that.
live on social media. So find me on social media. Instagram, Jennifer Sebasibari. My Twitter is Jennifer Sebas. And yeah, I think that's the only social media I have.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. There's so many of them sometimes. And then you open all of them and you don't even remember your name.
I know, it's true.
And then also Jenny on the Go 365. We have our own social media as well.
Okay. Oh, wow. Awesome. So, Jenny, you're really doing an awesome job. Thank you so much for coming to the Breaking Limitations show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And guys, make sure you're following her on all her social media platforms. And of course, make sure that you're also following us on the Breaking Limitations show. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel,
Absolutely.
be sure to do so. Be sure to do so now. We have the information at the bottom of the screen. And then also make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook, and go to our website, and just do everything Breaking Limitations. So guys, thank you so much for having us, being here with us. And Jenny, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so stoked.
Yes, and we're looking forward to having you again. Thank you so much.
Yes, I would love to come back. Next time, maybe I'll cook for y'all.
Oh, yes. So we'll definitely have Jenny back. I'll tell you guys when we'll have her. Thank
What
you
are
so
we
much.
making? Oh, thank you so much, guys. Until next time.
Thank you.
This is a call to all women entrepreneurs. Women in Business Community Network is a one-stop shop for female entrepreneurs in Kenya. Our goal is to empower communities and eradicate poverty. With a membership of 1.2 million members across the country, we engage and aspire to achieve issues around challenges on women enterprises. We thrive on 5 pillars: mentorship and capacity building, financial literacy and investment, market linkages and partnerships, networking, referrals and events, policy and advocacy. For more details, visit us on www.wibkenya.org or simply call us on 0751 900 900. Women in Business Network, empowering communities, eradicate poverty.